both the times that I was shot down, it was just either hydraulics were knocked out, and one time we took a hit. I looked out the door and I could see fuel flying in the air underneath it, coming out from under the aircraft, and I looked up at the fuel gauge and you could actually see it moving down. And I told the pilots, I said, we need to get this on the ground. I says, we're losing fuel. And I says, let's don't have a spark. I says, because our whole tail's soaked in fuel. And we were able to get it just over the fence of a friendly unit and set it on the ground. And as soon as he touched the skids on the ground, everything shut down. We fixed the crossover rod, put a patch on it, and filled them back up with fuel and flew it home. Everybody got shot up. That was the normal thing. I've always felt that it's my duty and my responsibility to serve this country. I've been involved with the military basically my whole life. I was in military school in the 3rd grade. It's probably the reason why I joined the Army right out of high school was the fact that I still could remember back to when I was in the military school. And the discipline didn't bother me, and the regimentation didn't bother me. In fact, I liked it. And so when I went into the Army for 6 years, I had no problem with authority or making things work that had to work and doing the job that I had to do.
Why did you join the military and why the Army?
Probably because I was bored. I guess I wasn't challenged. I never wanted to be a Marine. That was never my thing. I could not envision spending 6 months a year out on a boat with 5,000 men in the middle of the water. I went to the Army and took their entry exam, and they were more than thrilled to get me. Because of the Cold War and how the military was building up, they were looking for people to go into their mechanized units, armor. So I just took armor over infantry. 2 easiest jobs to learn is how to be a loader and how to be a driver. And so I ended up driving a tank. It was a serious possibility of us going to war with the Soviet Union back in that day. The military decided that they were going to do pre-positioning of equipment in different parts of the world. And the 2nd Armored Division was going to be in Europe if the Soviet Union ever came across the demilitarized zone and came in and we started a war. In 1963, they airlifted the whole 2nd Armored Division to Germany. When I finished my first enlistment, I re-enlisted. I knew that wasn't where I wanted to spend the rest of my life, in a tank. But aviation was starting to come around in 1964, and so I went to Fort Rucker, Alabama, and went through the aviation school for mechanics, and I learned how to be a mechanic on a CH-34. When I got through school, then I was assigned went to the aviation unit with the 4th Armored Division in Germany. Was there for almost a year, and then I got orders for Vietnam.
And everything changed.
Yes, everything changed. And you're, oh, yeah. Got to Vietnam and got assigned to an aviation company. Actually, I was with the 335th Assault Helicopter Company, which was we were the support for the 173rd Airborne Brigade. I had been trained through school on a CH-34. I got off the truck and I took a look at the flight line, and we had Hueys. And I said, wonderful, I've never worked on a Huey. My job basically was to go out and repair the helicopters. I would be repairing the hydraulics, helping track rotor blades, replacing main rotors if they got one damaged. One of the platoon sergeants came down and from the gun platoon and said he needed a crew chief. I had learned enough that I could crew one, and so I took the job on. The aircraft belongs to you. You're signed for it. You let the pilot fly it. He's also a door gunner, but you've got a door gunner assigned to your aircraft, and his job is to take care of the weapons, the guns. Your job is to take care of the helicopter. Every mission is the potential is there to not come out the other side because somebody's shooting at you the whole time. You're sitting in the doorway, like with a big bullseye on your chest. So that's what he's shooting. He can see you, and that's what they're shooting at. I took 28 hits in an aircraft on one assault. We had 28 bullet holes in the airplane. Nobody got hit. The aircraft did, but nobody inside. None of us did. Everybody got shot up. I mean, it was the normal thing. We went into an assault, and the Vietnamese had a quad 50 they were shooting at us with. And 50 caliber bullets look like footballs when they're coming at you. The tracers are huge, and they're glowing red, and you know that's only one of four. The pilot flipped the controls. He could control how many rockets he fired off each side, and we went to shooting two pairs, so we were shooting 4 rockets at a time. And I just told him, don't miss, because we were going right down the throat of this 50. And he put all 4 of them right at the base and blew that thing in the air. You could hear the infantry guys on the ground cheering because it had them pinned down for about probably an hour or so. You can't let the fear of the situation affect what you do. You have to do your job. The fear comes afterwards when you think back on, that was close. When we got back to the States, that was rougher than going to Vietnam. They called me a warmonger. Nobody was, except family, who were glad to see you. And I tried not to let it emotionally affect me. And I thought about, should have I stayed? Would I made a difference? Would somebody not died because I was there? And that's your biggest thing is to save lives. It's a thought that goes through your mind. You can't dwell on it because you left, but it's a thought that you think about. I got out of the military in '67, had nothing to do with the military at all for almost 10 years. And a friend of mine came up, and he had got into the reserves, and he came up and he says, you ought to come down and just take a look. I missed it. And so I enlisted in the reserves. I was a drill sergeant for a while. I taught everything from basic marksmanship and weapons, and then I got into quartermaster. I'd hit 60 years old, and in the reserve side of the house, they retire you at 60. Well, I still want to be active with something to do with the military. I have always felt that if a veteran passes away, they should always have military honors. And so I went back to the VFW. I asked them if they had an honor guard, and they said yes, they did. Joined their honor guard, and I got deeply involved. We're on our way to Highland Baptist in Redmond, Oregon. We have a memorial service planned there for a veteran. And we just need to make sure that everything is coordinated and organized. Okay. Did you bring the urn with you too? Okay, we'll take the flag out of the case because the Navy will be here to unfold, present, refold, and give to you. Okay. Whether they actually fought in a war, or if they just supported the people who did, or if they were in between wars, it's because they were there and willing to put their life on the line for this country. This country is what it is. Give me one right here. Hey, line, face right to the door, right across here. Yep. Face toward the door. To me, it's an honor to be on that honor guard and perform military honors for a veteran. Port arms. Half right, face. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. Detail, recover. Present, arms. A lot of families, they understand some of the feelings that their sons or husbands or brothers have when they see military honors done right. I've had them just walk up to me, in tears. I mean, it hits you right in the heart. You're thinking, this is why we do this. That veteran's gone. It's for his family.
We add to that tradition by presenting 3 shell casings representing the 3 volleys that we fired today. Those 3 volleys symbolize 3 words every veteran holds close to their heart. That is duty, honor, country. Thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege to present military honors today.
Detail, tan hut. Half right, face. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. Detail, recover. Present, arms. When I hear the national anthem, I still get chills. When I see somebody disrespect the flag, it bothers me because I put my life on the line for that flag. In this world, there is no better place to live than right here. Till the day I pass away, I'm always going to be looking that way about this country.